Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the October 1st Albany County Commission meeting, regular meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Commissioner Jones.
Present. Commissioner
Ibarra.
Here.
And Commissioner Goss are also here. If you would stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd appreciate it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3, a public hearing. We do have one this morning. It's the Albany County School District #1 conditional use application, CU-02-24. Anybody in the room like to speak on or against the Albany County School District #1 conditional use application, CU-02-24? How about online? On or against Albany County School District #1 conditional use application? Last call in the room and online. Commissioners, I'd entertain a motion to close that public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Item 4, comments from the public. If you'd like to make a public comment, please just come to the lectern. If you don't live in Albany County, just tell us where you do live. We'll start here in the room. Any public comment? Please come on up.
I'm Bob Carsons. I live in South Laramie where the Spur is at. I've gone to Cheyenne to the Business Council before it was built. They gave the money allotted to it. Talked to Gay Stockman, who's the head of it. She mentioned me no cars would ever be parked there and stay there because of the cost. Well, that didn't happen. They were there for like 16 months, at least a half a dozen cars or more. And I talked to Josh Boudreau, Laramie Business Council, about that. And he said, well, that was never told to him. I said, well, okay. And then the Business Council in Cheyenne, my concern was what's going to be there besides that hazardous materials and that being hauled and being used on that spur. Pete Lean and them now with a contract with the Colorado company is loading limestone, crushed limestone, and bulk trucks come in, which is just powdered limestone. The dust has just been unreal, and it keeps getting worse and worse. As soon as you cross the tracks, dust is coming out of the cars constantly. When the wind comes up, I've had it with our gusts that we have here every now and then, where you couldn't even see, period. A light wind, I can see in my backyard. It's hitting my eyes, it's in my face, my vehicles, my house is unreal. I've talked to Josh and them many times, many times. Seems like they have no control over what happens out there to contain the dust. I've talked to the quality control man with the firm in Fort Collins, and he said, we'll try to do something. Nothing has been done whatsoever. A dust thing on that, with all the dust that comes out, any kind of filter to me would be clogged within 5 minutes, bar none. That's just how much comes out. You could go there right now and watch it coming out of the top of the cars. I'm within 100 yards of this facility. The wind blows predominantly in Wyoming out of the southwest, and that's right at me. So I've talked to them so many times. I was there even Friday, and yeah, well, nothing's done. I don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end. You know, like I wash a vehicle on a Monday, and by Friday, I can write my name heavily in the dust, just caked on stuff. A little wind comes up, and any kind of rain, it cakes my windows and house. So I have to literally scrub them because that limestone dust is so hard. Well, I've just been putting up with it since this has all come about, and nothing is done. The dust is harmful. It is hazardous. If you look that up whatsoever, limestone dust, continuous breathing is definitely hazardous to your lungs. I mean, that's a fact, period. And we have it constantly. You know, my furnace puts it out. It's, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do. Kids visit, grandkids, you know, families across the street, and it is just disgusting. You could go out there right now and watch the dust just fly out of their cars. If you look at their loading site, you probably got 75 yards between the spurs all the way solid white. I don't know how thick it is now. They don't water anything. They don't water down the roads. They have done absolutely nothing to take care and alleviate this problem. I mean, it's coming into town. It's going all over the place, guys. It's a very fine powder. I'm worried about my health, if anything else. I can't go outside my own house at times. And if you want to see it, like I said, you go out there now, today, tomorrow, and it's really supposed to be windy. Oh, mommy, you're going to really see what it looks like and how bad it actually is. A couple of weeks ago, we had a dust, big one in the afternoon. In the afternoons, we get some pretty good winds at times. It's almost every afternoon. And one, like I said, you could literally not see across anything. You couldn't see. That's how thick it was. That's how much there is there. I don't know what to do. I said anymore, it's just gotten to be, I guess I'll go on health factors. I'm at my wit's end, I guess you could say. They won't do anything about it. I'm sure the cost, it would have to be quite a bit to put in, any kind of dust collection system. I worked at Monolith for 10 years, worked in their dust collecting system and inside their precipitators, okay? They had to put that in because of the dust coming out of there. Dust coming out of here makes Monmouth look like a totally clean operation, bar none. It is really that sickeningly bad. And I don't know what to do, guys. That's why, to meet with you guys, hopefully, I don't know if you can, if I get over the EPA, I see the man on top of the truck loading it. I don't see any kind of respiratory stuff on him. And I've seen him where he disappears in the dust. That's really about it. I'd love something to be done.
Would you be willing to share your address?
My what?
Your address?
2746 Fort Sanders Road. I'm right in front of the old tie plant. The only house there on the west side, I guess you could say. And like I said, and the wind it comes at me constantly. I've talked to the guy loading the trucks a year or 2 years ago on Burlington. I went and talked to him out south. He goes, yeah, it comes right at you all the time. It was totally admits it. It's not like any argument on it. But with the Fort Collins company, and I can sure, like I said, to me, the cost to put in a system, would probably be prohibitive with them. And that's why it's not being done. And there's just more ships from 8 a.m. till 5:30 to 6 o'clock. They are loading these cars out there. I don't know what to do. I can't go outside my own house anymore. It's that bad. And like I said, I've talked to, and I don't know if they're called the Laramie Main Street Alliance anymore. I think they've changed their name. But Josh Boudreau, I've talked to for years with Josh. That's about it. I don't know what to do.
Well, do you have any neighbors out there?
I'm across the street. New people moved in, and they've got 1 or 2 kids over there. I don't even know if they really know what's going on. You got the vet clinic out there. When the wind blows, when it changes, it goes right at them. Okay, but it's not that often. You know what I mean? I'm 90% of the time it's me in my house. But you do have the vet clinic out there. No, I have not talked to them, and I haven't talked to the people across the street either. I haven't, because they just moved in a few months ago, and I don't even know if they can see it and know what's going on. But even this morning, we said, well, here's the car. They're out there starting to load. And I looked at it loading. Dust is flying on it, just flying on it.
So those are railroad cars, right?
Yes.
I
They're
wanna
like
make
we
sure
go to the Monolith out there for cement cars.
Yeah,
But
okay.
otherwise, these are trucks that are coming in. They have a conveyor in them that keeps the limestone moving, that goes into their conveyor that goes up into the cars. Okay. When I talked to the quality control man at Fort Collins, said we're going to put a dust collector there from the trucks as it goes up before it gets into the car. And I don't know. I don't think that was even ever done, because that's not the main problem. So once it goes into the car, it just flows out of the lid. I saw it coming out the bottom once, and I don't know if that's because of their system they had there. I don't know. But it's just a white, constant dust. Constant. It never stops. I said 10 years I was at a Monolith taking care of dust collectors, working in them, electrician, precipitators, and that. And sure, they had to put them in because of the dust they were creating years ago out there. And that's even now, but it's It's me now and right behind me. I said, I don't know what to do. That's really, guys, that, do I talk to the EPA? No, they're in Denver. I haven't heard of an office in Cheyenne. They're in Denver, and OSHA with this guy, if I want to, for his own protection, of putting some kind of gear on. I don't know if he really has something on. I haven't noticed that he has. But that's just his health, but now it's ours, my family. Kids coming, Grandpa, Scott, it's dusty, it's getting in my eyes. Come in the house at night when the wind blows. Like last night, I can't open a window. When it gets that hot, I can't open a window in my house to even get a flow of air because of the dust. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm at my wit's end, I guess, is what you're gonna say here.
You said this is.
Any suggestions, anything over, I'll talk to whoever you want me to.
And from when to when? Every
Pardon?
day, Bob. When does this happen? All day, every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, as they've gotten, and I'm sure more contracts. They had one in like British Columbia and something else. Limestone is used for quite a few different products. And yeah, it starts at 8 a.m. and ends about 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. And right now it's going to be every single day, and it's just constant dust. I went for a motorcycle ride last week, and Thursday morning, I washed the bugs off because I was going again. I felt it hit my face. We just had the breeze coming that way. I go in the house, I change my clothes, I come back out, there's just dust. It's covered everything already again. It just really is that bad. I'm not exaggerating in the least bit, guys. I'm really not. Like I said, you can come out and look anytime, any part of the day, calm, windy. I don't care what part of the day you come out there, you'll see it. You'll see it's quite noticeable, so you'll see. And I don't know what you guys could do about it either, but I didn't know who to talk to. What do? EPA?
Well, I don't know either. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. But we'll figure out what we can do and who you might get to
I'd
be able to
appreciate
talk
it.
to.
I really would. Okay, Josh is probably tired of seeing me. I bet on it, because every time I show up, he knows what the problem is. But I don't think they have the power to tell them what to do out there. At least it doesn't seem like they do, because they haven't told them to do anything. So that's about it.
Well,
Thanks.
I really appreciate you bringing this forward.
I know I
Because
called
unless
you.
you're right in that area,
You bet.
you don't know. And so thank you very much for
Sure.
coming in and talking to
I'm
us.
glad you guys listening. I'm serious. Okay? Thanks.
Bob. Anybody else in the room for a public comment? Anissa, please.
Good morning, Commissioners. I am here this morning to ask for approval to host a community trick or treat that we've done the last couple of years on Halloween. I've talked to the elected officials and department heads and have received positive feedback. They'd all like to participate. So my proposal is to host that from 2 to 4 on October 31st here at the courthouse.
Thank you, Anissa. Anybody else in the room? How about online? Last call in the room and online for public comment. Commissioners, I'd entertain a motion to close public comment, please.
Move that we do so. Second?
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. 5 disclosures. Commissioner Jones, any disclosures?
Yes, I will abstain from item 18.
Right, Commissioner Ibarra.
I have none.
I will be abstaining from item 14. 6, considerations of changes on the agenda. Jennifer, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. I have a couple things. On item 12, we are going to remove direct the chairperson to sign the quitclaim deeds and direct the clerk to record them. I'm waiting on the legal description for the split on Newton. They gave me the entirety of the new parcel. I just don't want to back into it and get it wrong. So we're going to wait on that. We'll still do the resolution, and then we can bring the quitclaims at the next meeting. Um, I'd like to add an agenda item in relation to what Anissa just discussed, to approve an open house for 2 to 4 p.m. on October 31st for Halloween.
Okay, could we add that to 24A, please?
Perfect. And then we have a request to move item 24, which is the consideration of Stone Ridge Estates application, up earlier on the agenda. Ms. Getz is here, but has some commitments later this morning and would appreciate being earlier on the agenda if possible.
Okay.
Move her to the top and
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do to. Let's move it right before the item 8. I don't know what number that would be. 7.96. Okay, something.
Thank you.
8 minus A, or
You just make it 8 and make 8A or something.
Okay, can we do that? That'll make it work. So item 24 will be now item 8. And 8 will be 8A. All right, Bailey, any changes?
No.
Awesome, fantastic.
Stuff right on yesterday when you mentioned it, so.
Item 7, approval of the consent agenda. Commissioners, I'd entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the consent agenda. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. That moves us to the regular agenda, the new item 8. Present for consideration, revise final plat for Stone Ridge Estate subdivision application SD-03-21. David, good morning.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners. In November 16th, 2021, the Board of County Commissioners approved the Stone Ridge Estates subdivision permit with the contingency that adequate and legal access from the city of Laramie to the subdivision is available. Since that time, Albany County, the city of Laramie, and the applicant have agreed to a solution addressing access, and they will fulfill this contingency. A new access is being proposed that will be built across the neighboring property to the west. The road will be basically a continuation of, I believe, Vista Drive that goes up along the property, and it will connect with the west side of the Stone Ridge Estates subdivision. With this, the new access led to a few minor changes to the final plat. Just been provided a boundary line adjustment to the west of the proposal was made. So the property owner to the west receives a portion of the northwest corner of the applicant's property. The applicant receives an equal portion to the southwest corner of the property. The additional property from the neighboring property was added to lot 5. This was to eliminate the need to cross a lot, which would be illegal. We can't split a lot with the road, and so that takes care of that. And then the original boundary line between lot 4 and 5 was adjusted to the east. The boundary line between lot 7 and 5 was moved south to accommodate the new access road. The easement to the south of the property was lessened to a 20-foot utility easement. The cul-de-sac at the end of the proposed road was removed to accommodate the through road. And an updated road plan and profiles provided. All these documents were provided to the Albany County engineer who reviewed those and approved those. So the standards of the Albany County plating and subdivision regulations have been met. It's proposed that approval of the revised Stone Ridge Estates final plat application SD-03-21 be done. The one thing I would note is the copy that you received of the plat. There's just some minor things on there that need to be taken care of and that the applicant knows about, and they will do this before filing. I need to remove a notation on lot 1 that has 80 feet that just is kind of hanging there. It doesn't go to anything. We need to label the drainage that goes through the drainage easement. It's shown on there. It's just not labeled what it is, the distances. And then they need to add the missing document number to the note that states easements for roads and utility purposes of Albany County document number. They now have the document number, and so that will be added. So if this is all okay with you, then we'd recommend approval of the revised Stone Ridge Estates plat application.
Thank you, David. Commissioners, any questions?
Yeah, Jennifer, you've reviewed all this.
I have.
Any? All right, no further questions. I entertain a motion for item 8, please.
I move that we approve item 8 as presented. Second?
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you, David. Item 8A, proclaim the week of October 6, 2024 through October 12, 2024 as National 4-H Week. Amanda, good one.
Thank you, Commissioners,
You
for
bet.
approving
Have a
us.
nice morning. Amanda, good morning.
Morning. How are you all today?
Doing well, thanks.
Well, thanks for having us again today. So it is October, so that means it's National 4-H Week coming up next week. The theme this year by the national organization is Beyond Ready. So that's what we're going with for the theme. So I'll just briefly read the proclamation for next week. Whereas 4-H youth across the nation are leading efforts to solve problems in their communities and make a difference for their futures. Whereas 4-H is one of the largest youth development organizations in Wyoming and the largest in the nation with over 6 million young people. Whereas 4-H in Wyoming claims 7,956 youth members and 1,219 adult volunteers. While in Albany County, the 4-H program numbers are more than 405 members and more than 86 volunteers. Whereas 4-H is part of the University of Wyoming Extension is a program where youth learn through opportunities that provide them hands-on experiences in 4-H's mission, mandates of science, engineering, and technology, healthy living, and citizenship. Whereas research continues to prove that young people that are involved in 4-H are twice as likely to plan to attend college, more likely to avoid risky behaviors, more likely to contribute to their communities, and more involved in leadership roles for their future than those not engaged in 4-H. Now, therefore, we, Pete Gozar, Terry Jones, Sue Ibera, members of the Albany County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim October 6th through the 12th, 2024 as National 4-H Week in Albany County. We urge the people of this community to take advantage of the opportunity to become more aware of this special program that enhances our young people's interests and their futures as part of Albany County 4-H youth development, and to join us in recognizing the unique partnership between our county and our state university system.
Thank you, Amanda. Commissioners, any questions? All right, well, I'd entertain a motion for item 8A then, please.
I move that we proclaim the week of October 6th through October 12th, 2024 as National 4-H Week. Second?
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you,
Stay
Amanda.
here.
And you're still here with us, looks like. 9,
Yes.
discuss updates from the Extension Office and introductions of the new ANR educator and CNP educator with updates from both.
Correct.
Amanda.
Yes. So, thank you again for having us today. So I visited you last spring, and I promised some more regular updates. So I'm making good on that promise. So as always, we've had a really busy summer of 4-H activities. And first, I just wanted to give you an update. I just wanted to say thanks for approving our new carpet expenditure for this year with the budget. So we're scheduled to get our new carpet in the office at the end of October. So that's really exciting for us. And then we're going to do our tile maintenance for our meeting room in November after that. So we're pretty excited to have some little bit of updates to the office area. So I'm going to start with some 4-H updates, and then I'll introduce my colleagues and have them come up. So I put together a brief report for not just you, but for everybody. That's kind of an annual summary that kind of gives, it shows some pictures and gives some kind of like basic statistics. So I'll pass that to you guys. You can look at that at your leisure. So as I mentioned, 4-H is really busy in the summertime. So we had a lot of fair activities, of course. That's our kind of our hallmark activities in the summer. But in addition to that, I just wanted to bring your attention to a couple of things. Our junior leaders group, which is about 15 kids, ages 13 through 18, so our teenagers, they participated in an interstate exchange program, and we hosted 6 4-H members from New York State, from upstate New York, I think pretty close to the Albany area. And they were here for a week in July, kind of during Jubilee days. And so with that group of teenagers, they visited Kurt Gowdy and Beataboo. They went to the Jubilee Days parade and the rodeo show at McCarnival. They toured UW and the Territorial Prison. They went up to Snowy Range, to Mirror Lake, Libbey Flats. They went over to Saratoga and got ice cream and went to the museum and encampment. So lots of different activities for those kids to showcase our little corner of Wyoming, and they are quite excited to be here. And hopefully maybe we might have even recruited somebody to come to UW. So we had someone that's pretty excited in that. So then that means that next summer, our junior leaders are going to be going to New York to get kind of a similar experience there. So that's pretty excited. So we're in the process of doing a bunch of fundraisers to help pay for those kids to be able to go next summer. So other events, we had a kickoff to summer party on the last day of school. So we did a little bit of fairgrounds cleanup. I think they removed some staples from the walls in the barns and kind of tidied some things up. We had a float in the Jubilee Days parade, and then afterwards we had a pizza party and a water fight out at the fairgrounds. Another notable event from the county fair was that, I don't know if you've seen these numbers yet, but the junior livestock sale this year raised a total of $953,068 this year. So we're getting really close to $1 million in sales for the animals at the junior livestock sale.
It's a big deal. People don't realize
Oh,
how big
yeah.
a deal that sale
So
is.
it's a big deal. So again, we can't do that without the wonderful businesses and community members. Like, we have to give a lot of thanks and credit to all the people in this community that come out to support our youth in the livestock sale. So
It's still one of the highest sales in the state.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think last year I know there was like one or two maybe higher than us, but we're creeping up. So we're having a great success. So that's providing for kids' college funds and continuing on to do more projects in 4-H and help funding their future projects. So that's really exciting. So and then after that, we had 51 different exhibitors go to State Fair up in Douglas in August. So that's pretty exciting. We had our judging teams had a lot of successes in different competitive events this year. So our meat judging team and our wool judging team competed at the Western National Roundup in Denver during stock show in January. Our senior livestock judging team got 3rd place at the state contest at the state fair, and they've earned a trip to go to Denver this coming January for the state competition. And so our wool judging team got 2nd place at the state competition, and they're also going to go to Denver. And then we had 1 senior member and 3 intermediates named to the 307 all-state livestock judging team. So that's something that is a state recognition as well. And then in the spring, we awarded over $2,000 in scholarships to some of our outgoing seniors. So we had 4 seniors that were worthy of some scholarships. We also, all our members are always doing community service. A lot of our clubs do highway cleanup. So a lot of our groups do that. And then just a couple notable upcoming events. So of course, next week is National 4-H Week. We'll probably have a window decorating contest again and get kids out to decorate windows of businesses. Our Ag Appreciation Banquet is this Thursday, so that's a big fundraiser for us. So we'll be doing that on Thursday, and we have a great program for our attendees. And then our junior leaders, unfortunately, we're not doing Haunted Barn this year. We have kids that have a lot of conflicts, but we're going to have a Tia de los Muertos dance on November 2nd, excuse me. And then our Achievement Night, where we recognize achievements for record books, is coming up on November 17th. So just a couple of things. So we're looking forward to a pretty good, successful new year. And the 4-H year, if you're not familiar, starts on October 1st. So today is the very first day of our new 4-H year for 2024-2025. So we start our enrollments all over again today. So that's all I have for 4-H kind of updates. And I want to bring up Ruth and Brenna. And so Ruth Lake has been in the position for about a year, but she's our sensible nutrition educator. And then Brenna Latinsky over here is the new agriculture and natural resources educator, and she started in May, right at the very end of May, right before I left for maternity leave. So Brenna's kind of had a busy summer, but I'll let you guys go first. I think Ruth, you want to go first? So one of the things I didn't mention in my update was that we had a really great collaborative project this summer involving we received a grant from the University of Wyoming Extension and Jeff Edwards for a geodesic dome greenhouse. And so that got installed this summer, and I'm gonna let Ruth talk about that a little bit.
Well, thank you for letting us come this morning. I just wanted to share with you briefly some of the things that we have done this summer, but the highlight is probably our gardening projects. We started this with the intent to give 4-H kids the opportunity to learn how to grow things. Many of them don't have that opportunity at home. As you know, it's very difficult to grow things in Wyoming, so we have looked at different ways that we can do this. And like she mentioned, we were able to get in on a program where, grant-funded program where they would build a geodesic dome for us. And we put it in up at the UW greenhouse. And that way our 4-H kids can grow things, maybe not year round, but at least have a decent growing season. Our intent with the produce, of course, kids can take whatever they would like, but our intent with our extra produce is to donate it to Interfaith. So we want to kind of give back in that way as well. And then we have expanded it a little bit. Our 4-H kids were also able to get a plot at Labonte at the community garden. We grew some there. And then Linford Elementary School in the past has had a garden, and it's been dormant for 3 or 4 years probably. So we went and helped them rejuvenate that, and are also in the process of helping them kind of get a small food bank started at their school. Interfaith is clear across town. I don't know if you know where Linford is, but it's in West Laramie, and it's difficult for some of those families to get to Interfaith. But our intent with the garden at Linford is to donate it to their food bank as well. And a lot of the kids that go to Linford have helped with that as well. So it's been a great program. Probably the coolest part for me was getting to work with my colleagues. 4-H has been a big part of this. And then Brenna's maybe the brains behind it. Whenever we have bugs or don't know what to do with some plants, she is able to provide some of that expertise as well. So it's been fun, and we're also expecting to continue it for many more years to come. So it'll be great.
Ruth, did all
Oh.
age group participate in the gardening part?
So the 4-H does incorporate all age groups. The Linford part of it was mostly just that elementary school. They have a little gardening club, but 4-H, yes, it was all ages. And I forgot to mention, we had about 75 pounds of produce that, and this year was definitely a learning year. It probably didn't go as well as we were hoping, but yeah, we were pretty impressed that we still got 75 pounds that we were able to donate. So,
And some of our gardens are still going, so.
they are actually, especially the one at Linford. So our geodome, we weren't able to get it put in until the last week in July. So we actually missed most of the growing season, but next year we're hoping for huge things. So anything else? Okay, that's it.
Yeah. So I'm Brenna Lachinsky. I'm the Ag and Natural Resource Educator at the Minnesota. I was just hired in May. So really excited to be here. It's great to meet you all. It's been a pleasure to assist Ruth and Amanda on their gardening projects and to be able to help them with their questions and concerns and whatever else. So that's been great. And then I've revamped the website, created social media platforms to engage community members more and kind of what we're doing and the programs that we're developing. And something that I do, so I have a master's degree in animal and veterinary science, but I'm also a fine artist and illustrator. I'm a graphic designer. I build websites. And so I'm trying to engage people in agriculture and natural resources through artistic mediums and experiences. So this year I've been doing that through nature journaling classes. So having people of all ages learn more about the natural resources in Albany County through an art workshop and learning that way. And then next year I'll be developing it more towards agriculture and art programming. So small scale operation tours, engaging people who might not know anything about agriculture in agriculture through, again, artistic mediums and experiences. So yeah, it's been great to get to know the community and look forward to doing more of that in the future. So that's me.
Yeah, so I'll just say we're really excited too. I think I'm excited for the 4-H side to kind of use Brenna's expertise too to kind of engage our youth in some of her programming as well. And then an idea we've tossed around a little bit is we found out that other counties kind of we always have a 4-H newsletter, which we always send, but we're going to try to do an extension office newsletter, just a couple pages, probably just electronically through email coming up, so that really highlight all of the things that everybody in the office is doing, not just 4-H. So that will be an additional newsletter maybe coming out like quarterly. So hopefully we'll get that started starting after January and get that going too. So anyway, we just wanted to come and provide some updates, let y'all know the kind of exciting that all the things that we're excited about doing in the extension office. Great. Thank you all.
Thank you. Well done, Albany County
Right.
4-H and Extension.
Arts and gardening. Is it too late at 56 to get in? Should I get involved? Right, I don't.
Volunteers.
Dang it. Dan, thank you all. Appreciate it. Present for approval, request for proposals for construction for the Pilot Hill Trailhead project. And direct the clerk to advertise. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. If you don't mind indulging me for a moment, we had one of your lovely workshops on the Pilot Hill property, the nature journaling, and we had fabulous responses from the participants of how much they enjoyed that. So kudos, thank you. I'm here this morning, Commissioners, because as you know, we're hoping to put a packet out to bid for our trailhead for the Pilot Hill area. Just to jog your memories, it's been a few months since we talked about it. The trailhead area will be located on the east end of Willett Drive. It'll facilitate parking for over 50 cars, for school buses and horse trailers. It'll also have several picnic areas, a central shelter that will help people get it out of the wind and the rain when that occurs. Not an enclosed shelter, but more like a park style shelter, and then also permanent bathrooms. We'll also have water at the facility, lighting, some amenities for the bike users and the hikers and horseback riders, and storage for tools that will help us maintain the property. Going out to bid earlier this year, we did not have the responses that we'd hoped for, so we've refined the packet slightly, made sure that there weren't redundancies in our materials, and we're ready to go out to bid again. Are there questions that I might address?
Questions? It's super exciting. Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Commissioners, I entertain a motion for item 10, please.
I move that we approve item 10 as presented. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Item 11, present for approval, agreement between the State of Wyoming Department of State Parks and Cultural Resources, Division of State Parks, Historic Sites and Trails, and Albany County Board of County Commissioners in the amount of $182,710 for Pilot Hill Schoolyard and Trail Maintenance Projects. Sarah, good morning again.
Good morning. I'm sure Bailey, if you wanted to speak to this as well.
You got this.
Commissioners, thank you again for your time. This grant allows us to do a fine assessment of the trail system that we inherited or adopted from BikeNet within the schoolyard area. This is a state grant that we're thrilled about. It allows us just to make sure that those trails that were built prior to our acquiring them are safe and stable, that any adjustments that might be needed to make them better for the community can be addressed through this grant. It's a grant that will expire at the end of 2026 and includes both the assessment and process for doing maintenance on those trails.
Commissioners, any questions?
No, that past statement answered my question.
All right. If not, I'd entertain a motion for item 11.
I move that we approve items 11 as presented. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks,
Exciting
Sarah.
times. 12, present for approval, resolution 2024-018, a resolution vacating that portion of Newton Avenue between block 47 and 48 and the alley right-of-way of block 48, all within Montview addition to the city of Laramie, Wyoming. Jennifer, please.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is the Schreibeis vacation that we dealt with before. This is the amended portion of that petition to where there's nothing referencing Carroll Street. That portion of the vacation was dropped. It's only that portion of Newton Street between the two properties and the alley that splits the Schreibeis properties that's being vacated.
All right. So do you have any, does it cause any concern that we'll be approving the resolution on a different day than?
Nope.
Okay.
It'll be just fine.
Commissioners, any other questions? I entertain a motion for 12 then, please.
I move that we approve item 12 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you, Jennifer. 13, present for approval, letter of no objection to Repsol Renewables North America, Inc.'s request to amend permit for the Rail Tie Wind Project, DEQ/ISC 20-09.
So this, we sent out the request that we got from Repsol when we got it the first part of August, I think. And in that, it just says that the division intends to approve the request on the meeting on the 3rd. I got a call from Repsol's counsel asking if the county had any objections or not. And I said we had brought it up. It had been forwarded to each of you. I hadn't heard anything from anybody, and I didn't anticipate that we had any objections, giving it the extension of time that they're requesting from industrial siding is still within the original permit timeframe within the county permit. So they've asked that if there are no objections from the commission as to that requested extension, if we would please sign that letter that we can send to the division. So that just so they know that the county doesn't have any concerns.
Jennifer, remind me what that period is for the original permit.
Originally, they were supposed to be, I don't have it for me, the November date that's in that letter.
November 2nd,
Yep.
2026.
It's supposed to be November 2nd of 2024. So that's, they would have to start construction prior to November 22nd of 2024. They may end up getting that done anyway once, because we approved the road use agreement, so they can start doing roads. But to be certain that they aren't going to have any trouble with ISC, they had actually requested this extension, I think they're back in July. And so then the extension is a 2-year extension. And our permit was approved, I think, July 21st or 6th of 2021. And it's a 5-year permit. So it takes us, they will have started, the hope is they will have started construction long before July of 2026, because that's when they would have to start construction for our purposes.
Is there any other questions? I have the letter if you'd like to.
I have it.
I gave everyone a copy.
Okay. If not, I'd entertain a motion for item 13, please.
I move that we approve item 13 as presented. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Item 14, present for approval, revised contract between Wyoming Department for Health, Public Health Division, and Albany County for federal fiscal year 25, I'm guessing. That's what the number should be there. Community Service Block Grant Funds in the amount of $196,687 through November 15th, 2025, and direct the Vice Chairperson to sign. Bailey, thank you.
I apologize, Commissioners, that should be 25. This was on your agenda a meeting or two ago. You guys did approve this. However, since then, they found an issue with the numbering of the pages. So they brought it back to us for approval again. So that's all that was different.
Commissioners, any questions? Now I'd entertain a motion for item 14, please.
I move that we approve item 14 as presented in changing the numbering on the pages. And direct the vice chair to sign. No, I'm in the wrong.
Nope, you got it.
I got it. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Motion carries and I'll abstain. Thank you, Bailey. I appreciate it. 15, present for approval, Highway Safety Program, Federal Fiscal Year 2025 subaward between the Wyoming Department of Transportation Highway Safety Program and the Albany County Sheriff's Office for occupancy, safety, visibility enforcement. Sheriff Avalons, good morning.
Morning, Commissioners. This is a renewal of our yearly grant from YDOT through NHTSA for, this one is for highway traffic safety, occupant safety and visibility enforcement. There's some slight changes to this grant this year. In years past, it was just for seatbelt enforcement. For this year, they've awarded a little bit more money to us for seatbelt enforcement and the purchase of radars. So it should come out to, if I remember right, just short of $10,000. It's like $9,900.
Commissioners, any questions?
Yeah, and this is just for my own knowledge. Aaron, law enforcement officers have to have a reason to pull someone over, be it no brake lights or something like that.
Right.
Then how do you broach the seatbelt issue?
So, seatbelt is what we call a secondary violation on there. And so you have to have another violation, traffic safety violation to affect pulling a car over. And so a lot of times what we'll do is, like I said, it's a high visibility enforcement. So we'll go ahead and pull them over for some other violation if they're not wearing a seatbelt. Usually we give a warning on the first violation and then we write the seatbelt ticket. Seatbelt ticket is $25. And really what we're trying to do is increase the usage of seatbelts within our motor vehicles here.
But do you say like, and I see that you're not wearing a seatbelt?
So,
that you also
so the
wear?
opposite is yes, when they're usually wearing a seatbelt, there's two options that we have. Either thank them and give them a warning for everything and get them on the way, or if a citation is issued for the main violation because they're wearing a seatbelt, we're allowed to take $10 off of their ticket for wearing the seatbelt. So we leave that up to officer discretion. Most of the time it's a warning and just gets them on their way. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Any other questions? Not, I'd entertain a motion for 15, please.
I move that we approve item 15 as presented. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. 16, present for approval, Highway Safety Program, Federal Fiscal Year 2025 subaward agreement between the Wyoming Department of Transportation Highway Safety Program and the Albany County Sheriff's Office for impaired driving, high visibility enforcement. Sheriff.
Again, this is a renewal of our kind of yearly grant agreement that we have with YDOT and NHTSA. There are changes to this grant this year as well. The award in years past have been somewhere right around $10,000. This year it's $37,000. And that's for not only the additional enforcement that we do, but they also wrapped in multi-jurisdictional task force enforcement, which we usually do with either the Laramie County Sheriff's Office, Cheyenne PD, University of Wyoming Police Department, Laramie Police Department, Wyoming Highway Patrol for various different events that we have. Cheyenne Frontier Days, Border Wars, one that's going to be coming up, other holidays that we have where we know that there's going to be impaired driving. So task force money is included in there. And then we're also able to use this grant for the purchase of in-car video camera for our units as well. So that's why there's more money in this grant. Like I said, there's a couple additions to it.
Commissioners, any questions? Aaron, just for my information too, it says total approved funds, 41,076.42, and then total expenditure about 37,005.
Yeah, I read that too. I
can explain it.
Okay.
So the state is taking indirect costs off those.
Okay.
So they still put in the total award, but the state's taking indirect costs. Next year, because of what you guys approved at the last meeting, we will be taking indirect costs as well.
Okay. Thank you, Bailey.
Yes.
Commissioners, if there are no further questions, I entertain a motion for 16, please.
I move that we approve item 16 as presented. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing And seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Commissioners.
17, present for approval, 2024 OJJDP fiscal year 24 juvenile drug treatment program grant award in the amount of $730,000 to expand juvenile services and direct the clerk to accept the award. Heather, good morning.
Hello, Chairman, Commissioners. I'm here to happily announce that we were selected as one of the three,
They only awarded
they
two.
only awarded two, one of the two awards in the country for the OGGDP continuing.
What is that? The whole acronym.
Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Services, or Delinquency Program, I'm sorry. So we were selected as the continuing the program court. We were actually awarded $730,000 for the program. And it was originally at 650. So a little bit more funds for a 4-year grant. This is to supplement our state juvenile drug court program for increased services and increased ability to work with more kids. We're hoping to average about 15 to 16 kids, juveniles a year. With this grant, that includes treatment, quality of life funding, drug testing, case management, and support for the families. So very big deal. I was obviously here a few months ago, trying to catastrophize a plan about what would happen if we didn't get it. And I'm happy to say that we did.
Super.
Very cool.
Yeah. Any
Heather,
questions?
this is great news. That much more work for you, but.
Absolutely.
I have a question that I've never asked you before. This is just for Albany County. We don't take any juveniles from any place else in the state?
Correct, unless they have ties here or have parents here. One of our programs does work with reentry. So if a juvenile was in a residential program or a facility that they were housed there and they were coming back to join the family here, then we would work with that family for wraparound services. But only, ties to our community.
Thank you.
Heather, do all these services exist here in Albany County, or do you have to send kids out of the county for some treatment?
If there is residential needs, they do get sent out. All of that is done through Judge Westby in the Juvenile District Court. But for what we provide, in-house services, we have our contract provider and it's all done with us. If their need ends up being too high where they can't stop using and they get reevaluated, then DFS looks at residential facilities. There's only 2 or 3 in the state, so. We've had a couple, as part of our reintegration or reentry program, the 2 juveniles that were in our drug court went to that higher level of care and came back. One has graduated successfully and is doing really well in Florida. One is currently with us right now. So we're excited to see how that goes.
Yep, thank you, Heather. Commissioners, any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion for item 17, please.
I move that we approve item 17 as presented. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Congratulations, Heather. Thank you, Bailey, and everybody working on that. 18, ratify application to the U.S. Department of Transportation for the fiscal year 2024 Reconnecting Communities Pilot Program for the continuation of data collection, design, and right-of-way acquisition for Albany County Skyline Drive connection, the City of Laramie's 30th Street extension, and current west skyline redesign, and the creation of a new bridge interchange over Wyoming Department of Transportation, I-80. Bailey.
So this project has been in front of me multiple times before. This is just the ratification. I did get it submitted. And it is for the planning piece of this whole project. So, any questions?
Commissioners, not an entertain a motion for 18.
I move that we approve item 18 as presented.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries and Terry is abstaining from that. 19, thank you, Bailey. Present for approval, approach license for rail tie on County Road 316, Sportsman Road, Section 23, Township 13 North, Range 73 West. Rob, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a couple approaches on Skyline or on Sportsman Lake Road for the rail tie project. I think it's Connect Gens probably.
Repsol.
There's a Repsol now. Okay. So that was part of 13 that was changed. So anyway, it's approach license for the rail tie project so they can get started for their permit.
Commissioners, any questions? If not, then entertain a motion for 19,
I
please.
move that we approve item 19 as presented. Second?
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carried. 20, very similar, present for approval, approach license for rail tie on County Road 316, Sportsman Road, Section 22, Township 13 North, Range 73 West. Rob.
Basically the same thing. So this one's at milepost 2.4. The other one is at 1.
I move that we approve item 20 as presented. Second?
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please. Aye. That motion carries. 21, present for approval, utility license for Blue Peak on Albany County Highway 14, Washington Street, Laramie, Wyoming. Rob.
Thank you. This is for utility license for Blue Peak. We were actually made aware that they were putting in some cable on Washington Street that they thought it was in the city, but it was in the county. So we're kind of catching up on this one.
Sure.
Applied for a utility license after that.
Commissioners, any questions? Not an entertained motion for 21.
I move that approve item 21 as presented. Second?
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
That motion carries. Thank you, Rob. 22, present for approval on-site support contract between Albany County and DocuTech, Inc. from September 9th, 2024 through September 9th, 2025 in the amount of $995. Kayla.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. This is my annual support contract for my machine in my land office so that the public and my staff can look at microfilm.
Commissioners, any questions? Not an entertain a motion for 22.
I move that we approve item 22 as presented. Second?
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you, Kayla. 23, present for consideration Albany County School District Number 1 Conditional Use Application CU-02-24. Joe, good morning.
Morning, Commissioners. So yeah, this is a conditional use. Albany County School District applied for conditional use to allow a school to be operated on property zoned agricultural. The proposed use will be on a portion of a ranch with the site being off of Estabrook Road, around a couple miles from the Fetterman Estabrook intersection. The school will function within a building that is currently permitted as a residence. The school will serve rural families in North Albany County. Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously voted to recommend the Board of County Commissioners approve this conditional use application CU-0224, adopting and incorporating the staff analysis, findings of fact, and law as each are stated in the staff.
Thank you, Joe. Commissioners, any questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion for 23.
I move that we approve item 23 as presented. Second?
Moved and seconded. Do we need the staff report findings of fact?
Yes.
Conclusion of law? Could I get that in?
Putting the findings of fact and conclusions of law.
Second degree.
Second agrees.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Chairman Gosar, related to this issue, I just wanted to bring up, there was some correspondence that went around about the wastewater permit. When that permit is going through, there was some concern about it being put in where it was permitted, all of those things, you see all of those things. At some point, if it comes in front of you, I would request that there not be any type of fines or violations found for that early installation of that wastewater system due to the approval that was given at the July 16th meeting when Randy Wilkerson from the school district was here. I just wanted to bring it up to you as a heads up. And if you have any questions going forward, just let me know.
Thank you, Jennifer. Item 24, the open house for Halloween on Halloween from 2 to 4. Commissioners, any questions?
I don't think so.
If not, I'd entertain a motion for the open house.
I move that we approve the open house event of trick or treating at the courthouse on October 31st from 2 to 4.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thanks, Lisa. 25, approved vouchers for September 2024. I'd entertain that motion.
I move that we approve vouchers for September 2024. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.